Okay, let's take a look at a couple of these review problems for the Hyperbola and Ellipse quiz for tomorrow. So when you're given this question, the first thing you want to do is try to get the problem into standard form. So I would start by subtracting, or adding, sorry, the 4x squared to both sides and putting the x terms together and the y terms together. And I would then add the 131 onto the right-hand side. So when we complete the square, the first thing we have to do is factor out the 4. So I have x squared minus 2x. When I complete the square, I'm going to add 1 on the left inside the parentheses to make the perfect square trinomial, and then I will add 4 to the right. For the y's, I'll factor out a 9. That becomes, what, 14y. So when I complete the square, I will add 49 inside the parentheses to make the perfect square trinomial, and then I will add 196. That 49 times 9, sorry, 441. I knew that didn't sound right. Add 441. So now you have 4 times x minus 1 squared plus 9 times y plus 7 squared is equal to 576. Divide both sides by 576. And the equation, I'm going to put it up here, the equation you'll have is x minus 1 squared over 144 plus y plus 7 squared over 64 equals 1. So now you know you have an ellipse. You know that it is horizontal, meaning that the major axis is parallel to the x-axis. A is the square root of 144, which is 12. B is the square root of 64, which is 8. And C is found by taking a squared equals b squared plus c squared. Therefore, C is the square root of 80, which is 4 root 5, which is approximately equal to 8.9. So when you look at your equation, you know that the center is at 1 minus 7. Right here. As I said, it is horizontal, meaning its major axis is parallel to the x-axis, so therefore you have vertices at 11, negative 7, which is going to be about here, and then at 13, probably about here. So minus 11, minus 7, and 13 minus 7. Your foci are going to be from the center, and they're going to shift on the x-axis. So it's going to be 1 plus 4 root 5, comma, negative 7, and 1 minus 4 root 5, comma, negative 7. So you can get an approximate of where that would fall at about negative 7.9. So right about here, and then plus 9.9 right about here. The endpoints, then you're going to go to the center, and the endpoints will move up and down on the y-axis. So k will be the value that will change. So you have 1, comma, minus 7 plus 8, and 1, comma, minus 7 minus 8. So you'll have endpoints at 1, 1, and at 1 minus 15. So then you have to go to your key points. Key points are found by b squared over a, and that is 64 over 12, which is approximately equal to 5.3. To find the key points, you're going to go to your foci. So let's pick 1 plus 4 root 5 minus 7. So that's going to be this one. So here I'm at this foci. So I'm at 1 plus 4 square root of 5. So I have minus 7 plus 5.3, which means I'm going to go to negative 1.7, about right here. And then I will have 1 at 1 plus 4 root 5 minus 7 minus 5.3, which means I'm going to have 1 at about negative 12.3. That's one side. Then I'll go to the other side. So each foci will generate two key points. So now I'll go to 1 minus 4 root 5 comma negative 7. And from that, don't really want to write in there. Erase that. I'm going to write it above. So I'm going to write this up here. So my foci 1 minus 4 root 5 negative 7. So now I'm going to go to that foci and I'm going to add and subtract 5.3 from the 7. That's going to give me 1 minus 4 root 5 comma minus 7 minus 5.3, which will be here, and then 1 minus 4 root 5 comma minus 7 plus 5.3, which will be here. And then I have enough information to go ahead and sketch in the ellipse. Okay, the length of the major axis is 2a, which is 24. The length of the minor axis is 2b, which is 16. Let's go on to the next one. Okay. The next one's an ellipse. And I'll probably just do 2. Hopefully that will be helpful. Okay. For this one, again, you want to get it in standard form, which means you're going to have 9x squared plus 36x minus 4y squared plus 32y equals negative 8. Factor out the 9, so you have x squared plus 4x, leave a space so you can complete the square. Factor out a 4, you will have y squared minus 8y, leave a space, you can complete the square. So now 4 divided by 2 squared is plus 4. If I'm adding 36 to this side, I have to add 36 to this side. Okay, complete the square on the y. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 squared is 16. So I'm subtracting 64 on this side, means I have to subtract 64 on the right-hand side as well. So now I have the equation 9 times x plus 2 squared minus 4 times x minus 4 squared is equal to negative 36. So now we're going to divide by negative 36. and I will have the equation x plus 2 squared over negative 4 minus y minus 4 squared over negative 9 equals 1. That means that x becomes negative. Leave those two fractions intact and move the y to the first position, so you have y minus 4 squared over 9, then minus x plus 2 squared over 4 equals 1. So now you know that this hyperbola opens up and down, that the distance from the center to a vertex is 3, the distance from the center to an end point is 2, and we have the equation c squared equals b squared plus a squared. So c is the square root of 13, which is approximately equal to 3.6. So now our center is at minus 2, 4. And I have a vertice then at minus 2, 7, because I'm going to add 3 and subtract 3, so minus 2, 1. Then my end points are going to shift on the x-axis, so I will have minus 2, minus 3, which should give me, no, excuse me, minus 2, minus 2, which should give me minus 4, 4. Sorry, it's right there. And 0, 4. Foci are going to be 3.6 units, or the square root of 13, from the center. Remember, they're going up and down, so they will shift on the y-axis, or the k value. So I have minus 2, comma, 4 plus root 13, and minus 2, 4 minus root 13. So that's going to put me at about right here, and about right here. Okay, so my foci fall outside, and it should, because this is a hyperbola. Then to find my key points, I take b squared over a. So that's 4 over 3. So that's about 1 1/3. Now the key points shift left and right of the foci. Here's a foci, here's a foci here, and here is one here. And they're going to shift left and right. So they're going to go from minus 2 to minus 3.3, and 4 plus root 13, and then minus 3.3, comma 4 minus the square root of 13. So right about here, and right about here. Remember, this is going to go like this, like this. Then go to the other foci, which is at minus 2, comma 4 minus root 13. And again, you're going to add and subtract that 1.3 from the x-coordinate. So you're at minus 3.3, comma 4 minus root 13, and then minus 3.3 sorry, to back up. Hang on, let me back up a minute for this one. 0.7. So I'm down here at this foci, which is minus 3.3 up and down, and then at 7. So now I'm at this. Oh, let me start over with this. I'm so sorry. I am trying to hurry, and it is not a good idea. Okay. B squared over A, which is going to be 4 over 3, which is about 1.3. So from this foci, which is at 3.3, so from 3.3, I'm having a terrible time here, which is at minus 2. Okay, this is at minus 2 comma 4 plus root 13, which is minus 2 comma 7.6. Maybe that will help me. So that's this foci. So I'm going to go left and right. So I'm going to go minus 3.3 comma 7.6 for 1, and then to the right, so that will put me at 3.3 comma 4.4. Then I'm going to have another one when I take negative 2 and add 1.3, and then I will be at 0.7 comma 7.6 and 0.7 comma 0.4. So you're going to the foci and adding and subtracting those values left and right. So the 4 key points are here. The length of the transverse axis is 2a, which is 6. The length of the conjugate axis is 2b, which is 4. The equations of the asymptotes will be y minus 4 is equal to 3 halves x plus 2, and y minus 4 equals 3 halves, negative 3 halves x plus 2. Remember, if you draw this box, the asymptotes should go through the corners of the box and through the center when you're finished. So y minus 4 is equal to 3 halves x plus 3. So y is equal to 3 halves x plus 7. Here y minus 4 is equal to negative 3 halves x plus negative 3. So y is equal to negative 3 halves x plus 1. So when you go up to the graph and you put in the asymptote, you can see the first one has a y-intercept of 7. And the second one has a y-intercept of 1. Right there. And this has a decreasing slope, so it's negative. The other has an increasing slope, so it's positive. So again, you're taking the center, h, k, and you're substituting it in. Y minus k is equal to plus or minus a over b, or b over a, depending on which way it opens. In this case, it was a over b times x minus h. From that, you get the equation of the asymptote. I'm going to skip back to, let's see, let's do the next one. Number 3 is another hyperbola. This time, it says write the equation for the locus of points in the plane where the absolute value of the difference of the distances between minus 1 and 6, which is here, and minus 1 and minus 4, here, is 6. Clearly that distance is more than 6, so you need to find the midpoint of that segment. Okay, the midpoint of that segment, and those two endpoints are foci. So minus 1 over 2, and 6 minus 4 over 2. So that's going to be at minus 1, 1. So the center is going to be here at minus 1, 1. Then 6 is 2a. So a is equal to 3. So from the center, you're going to go up 3 to minus 1, 4, and down 3 to minus 1, minus 2 for your vertices. So A is 3. Then you can look and you can see from the center to a foci is 5. So C is 5. You'll use A squared plus B squared equals C squared to find the length of B, which will be 4. You're given your foci at minus 1, 6, and minus 1, minus 4. For your endpoints, you'll go to the center and move left and right of the center 4 units. So at minus 5, 1, and 3, 1. Then your key points are at B squared over A, so 16 over 3, which is approximately equal to 5.3. You'll go to your foci, which are the endpoints of this segment. So I have one at minus 1, 6. And I will move left and right, so I'll be shifting on the x-axis. So I will be at minus 6.3, 6. Which will be about here. And then to the right, I will add 5.3, which will put me at 4.3, 6. Which is about right here. You should see your parabola starting to take shape here. Then go to the other foci, minus 1, minus 4, and again moving left and right on the x-axis, so at minus 6.3, minus 4, and at 4.3, minus 4. So at minus 6.3 and 4, so about here, and again at 4.3 and negative 4 about here. And there is your hyperbola. The length of the transverse axis, remember, is 2a, which is 6. The conjugate axis is 2b, which is 8. And again, the equation of the asymptotes should pass through the corners of this rectangle and through the center. Again, look at the rise over the run. So the rise is 3. The run is 4. So this should help you with that, the equations of those asymptotes. So now I have y minus k is equal to the slope a over b plus or minus x minus h. So that gives me y minus 1 is equal to 3/4 x plus 1, and y minus 1 is equal to negative 3/4 x plus 1. So y minus 1 equals 3/4 x plus 3/4. So y is equal to 3/4 x plus 7/4. y is equal to negative 3/4 x plus 1/4. And so when you look at the equations of those asymptotes, it should be close to what we have there, 7/4 about and 1/4 if my lines were a little straighter. Okay, try to get the next one done. So the next one says, write the equation of the locus of points in a plane with the sum of the focal radii is 14, and the points, the points I changed here, I'm actually going to skip this one because it looks like I have changed the points on your worksheet. They're different than this worksheet. So let's just go to the last few questions. It says, describe or define the following locus of points. So the locus of points that is equal distance from 2 points is the perpendicular bisector. The locus of points equal distance from 3 points is the circumcenter. The locus of points equal distance from 1 point is a circle. The locus of points equal distance from a point and a line is a parabola. The locus of coplanar points such that the absolute value of the differences of the distances from 2 given points in a plane is a constant is a hyperbola. And the locus of points in a plane such that the sum of the distances from 2 fixed points is a constant is an ellipse. Okay, sorry about number 4. I think I changed that one because the numbers didn't work out well. So you could skip number 4, or if you want, go ahead and use those points. No, not those points. Use, I think, these points. -3, 3, and 7, 3. Use those 2 points, and then you can check the PDF file and see how your answers compare to the answers on the PDF file. Have a nice evening. I'll see you tomorrow.